All right, it is the 16th of March, and yesterday the schedules came out that I can bid on for April and May. So I can bid on a 60-day line or a 30-day line. A line is just your schedule of trips. So I have 3 days to sort through all of these schedules and pick which ones I want, or at least rank which ones I want. Up here, right here, my seniority is 30 out of 84 in Los Angeles for 747 first officers. So if I was based in Cincinnati, my seniority might be a little different, or Anchorage, it would be a little different, or Miami. I think I'm the lowest seniority in Miami. I've got decent seniority in LA, so I'm pretty good. I can generally get the days off that I want, and that is usually my number one priority. What do I have going on in April and May that I need to pick a schedule to work around? Second priority is probably how much am I getting paid, and then third priority is, am I going to cool places? So all these are the airport codes. We've got Los Angeles, Portland, Hanoi, Vietnam, Hong Kong, Delhi, back to Hanoi, Hong Kong, Delhi, Zaragoza, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Bangkok, Hong Kong, LA. That's a pretty crazy trip right there. And I know that it's gonna go to somebody more senior than me, just because this red shows it's going into Saudi Arabia, which you get paid a little bit extra for going into dangerous countries. I guess Saudi Arabia is one. During COVID, anything in Asia was highlighted red. There are primary lines where you generally know what airports you're flying to or what cities you're flying to. And then there are secondary lines, which are kind of just the leftover trips that scheduling doesn't really know what's going to be left over. So it's kind of like long haul reserve, essentially. You might have a couple more days at home, and then they start filling in the days and give you a trip. But you really don't know where you're going, and you really don't know how much money you're going to make. Our min guarantee is 64. Wait, is it 62 or 64? I think it's 64. 64 hours of pay per month. And then when you bid on a schedule like this, let's say 74.5, that's going to be your new minimum guarantee. So we do have a bid line guarantee. Whatever line you get assigned, that becomes your new high watermark pay for that month. And then days off, that's kind of up there in my top 5 priorities, but also the 29 people ahead of me also look at that. So 18 days off, that's pretty damn good. So I'm not going to be able to get those. I think there's 2 lines that have 18 days off. It's the number 1 guy and like the number 5 guy are picking the 18 days off, because that's nice. It's nice because A, you can have those days off, or B, you can pick up a lot of overtime during those 18 days and then make buku bucks. You can see here in my selection column that I do have quite a few selections already made. I guess I was talking about secondary lines, and then there's also reserve lines. These are the reserve lines. We have some large blocks of days on, so that's your entire block. Or you have a split schedule where you have, like 7 days here, a couple days off, and then 7 days here, and then a couple days off. So kind of your call. For April, my priority is to have off for the first week of April because I have family in town in Phoenix. So I am trying to pick a schedule that I am flying probably from the 8th all the way to the end of the month. Anytime in there is fine with me. And then in May, I have something at the end of May. So I really don't care what happens between, say, April 6th and May 29th. I really could have any flight schedule between those days. So that's kind of my picking priority. And then all the way down here at the bottom is a VTO line. There will be 21 VTO lines. So this is bidding round 1 for your schedule, and then VTO is bidding round 2 for whatever's left over once scheduling takes into account for vacation, training, and off days for the next 2 months, basically. So there is a second round of bidding, and I have had good schedules come from that, but that's kind of just like a catch-all for me. If I can get a good schedule on this first round, I'm going to take it, because then I know I locked in what days I have off and can plan my life a little bit better for the next 60 days. So I'm going to sort by selection, and so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got like 20 lines picked, 21, and I've got a mix of 30-day lines and a couple 60-day lines. And the system is smart enough to show me what other people have picked and compare that to my seniority number and what I've picked, and it'll tell me what my likely schedule to be assigned is. So 37-47, that's fine. So the number one guy right here, he's going to get that line, and then everybody else, like, he doesn't have to pick anything because he's the number one most senior first officer on the 747 in Los Angeles. The question is, like, why aren't these guys upgrading to captain? Because I know our captain upgrade seniority number is around 13. Like, these guys have nice first officer lives. They get their schedules and they're having fun. They're relaxing. But I'm way down here at 30, and here's my nice line of schedules that I've picked. And then if you're at the bottom here, good luck. He put in one pick and then just a VTO line. That's good luck, dude. Good luck. All these blank ones, this guy hasn't bid yet. There's a couple more people who haven't bid yet. So there technically are some people that could steal the schedule that I want. So these guys could steal my schedule, but basically everybody has different priorities, different months. I have things going on in the beginning of April. Somebody else could have something going on in the end of April. And I just think that the schedules just, like, they work themselves out. You bid for what you want and don't try to play games, and, like, everybody's priorities are different. Some people have families and they want to do max days off and they don't really care where they fly, or if they want to try to avoid China, sometimes that's like the number one priority for some people. But yeah, I don't give too much thought in trying to mind game it. Some people analyze the crap out of the schedules, and no, it's fine. So I'm likely to get 37-47. Let's go back to my selections. 37-47 is my fifth picked line, so let's see what that would look like. LA to Cincinnati to Atlanta to Portland to Incheon to LA, and then we can click on it and break out the full schedule. Okay, and here is the full schedule of when and where I'm likely to be flying, although there are always schedule changes. So LA to Cincinnati, deadhead from Cincinnati to Atlanta, Atlanta to Portland, Portland to Incheon, and then a deadhead on our company plane from Incheon to LA. So nice short trip, 5 days, 11 hours away from base. Not bad, not too bad. And then I guess there's a chance for me to pick up some overtime or just go home for a week, and then a longer trip, which I'm actually pretty excited about these destinations. So I hope I do get this schedule. It's got some LA to Honolulu, which is a deadhead actually, so I don't even start until I get to Honolulu on the 22nd of April. So that'd be Honolulu to Melbourne, Melbourne to Sydney, so a 2-leg day there. That can be kind of a long day, but 11 and a half hour flight and then an hour and a half flight, that's not too bad. That's not bad at all, actually. And then another deadhead from Sydney to somewhere in China. I don't know where CKG is exactly, but going to China. 51-hour layover in China could be fun. I haven't been to CKG yet, so let's go. All right, that sounds fine. Only a 22-hour rest in Sydney, so that's not too long, but enough to hit the beach and explore a little bit. But yeah, 51 hours in China. And then we're doing another... Oh no, this is an operating flight. This is not a deadhead. Then we do China to Anchorage for 10 and a half hours. And then a deadhead from Anchorage to Portland, and then operate Portland Incheon. Incheon to another city in China. Anchorage, Incheon, Incheon, LA. So that's kind of a long trip. We've got April 20th until May 5th. So that's a 2-week trip. That's gonna be a long one, but some of these flights are pretty long, so it pays pretty well. So I'm willing to take that, and it also goes to Sydney and some places in China that I haven't been. So I kind of like this trip. I think I'll take it. And then it is a 60-day line that goes into May. So actually, that's not a lot of days off. Got 5.5 days off, and then I go to LA, Incheon, China, Almaty, Kazakhstan, Zaragoza, Spain, Saudi Arabia, Bangkok, Hong Kong, LA. And then I'm done until the end of May. So that's the schedule that it says that I'm likely to get picked, and I'm okay with this one. This is fine. Gives me the days off that I want. Goes to some interesting places. This is quite a long trip, but that's part of the job. That's what I signed up for. And all this can change. Like the schedule that I'm on currently changed so much. So this might not even happen. But what I do owe the company is these days on and ready to fly. So it's all up in the air at the end of the day. Really what you're bidding for is what days you're working and what days you're not working. And then your min guarantee. So this would give me a min guarantee of 74.7 hours for April and then 86 hours for May. 86 is pretty good. I think 86 is actually the highest paying. 86.4. Yeah, I think 86 is the highest paying lines this month, at least in LA. Yeah, 86.8 looks like the longest one, or the highest paying line. So yeah, this is how I pick my schedule. This is probably one of the number one questions I get about flying, like what's your schedule like? And like it can be 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, essentially. Like I could just fly this big block and then have these 2 weeks off, or I could pick up these little trips here and there. Kind of whatever schedule you prefer, you can get, as long as you have the right seniority to get it. What is this little tiny flight? It's a little 2-day trip. It's just from Texas. This is Fort Hood to LA. That's it. That's it. Okay, fine, cool. So I live in Phoenix, but all of my trips are scheduled to start and end in LA. So at worst, I have to add a day in the beginning and the end to get to LA and get home. But at best, sometimes the flight leaves late at night and I can get into LA early in the morning and then be ready for the flight later that night. So I don't have to, waste a day traveling. And then at best on the back end, maybe I get into LA early in the morning or right when a flight from LA to Phoenix is departing. So my travel days are not included in this. So I may lose up to 2 days commuting to and from work from LA to Phoenix. But LA to Phoenix there's like 12 flights a day and it's less than an hour flight. So I don't mind that commute, especially since the cost of living in LA is so much higher than Phoenix. So, yeah, that's my schedule. That's what I think about when I pick the schedule coming out. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.